welcome to Paul Takes on the News. Today's news is old news. Actually, this news is a couple days old, but there's nothing going on that I found interesting. So we'll talk about the Delta Airlines with the passenger that refused to get off and got dragged out and bloodied up. What do I think about the situation? Well, let's do a background situation. What happened was, day before yesterday, there was a flight coming from somewhere, going somewhere, and it was fully booked. It wasn't overbooked. It was fully booked. But there was some air crew. I think they were, I don't know if they were stewardess or something, but somebody that worked for Delta had to get to where the plane was going so they can get on to their next flight and service the next flight. So, if they couldn't get on that plane, that other flight would have been canceled. So they had to get on that one flight. And there was no notice. It was like short notice. They just had to jump on this plane and go over. But there's no room for them. So apparently, Delta said, well, they offered their passengers for volunteers. They asked for volunteers, and they were giving them $1,000 just to get off the plane and wait for the next one, which would be like the next day. So they have to spend the night and then take the next flight. And it was a Sunday night, so I could see how people had to go to work. Still, I would think somebody would have took $1,000, but nobody did. So what they do, and it's part of their protocol, part of their procedures, is they have to get rid of somebody. So what they do is they get some criteria. They say, well, look, if you got a connecting flight, we don't want you to miss your connecting flight. And you have these criteria, that criteria. So, and then they go on and pick somebody. So, guess what? They picked up this, they picked the Asian doctor. So he's upset and doesn't want to get off the flight. I can understand he's upset. That would suck. Now, so they asked him to leave. He wouldn't leave. So they call security, or they call law enforcement. They asked him to leave multiple times. They had two guys, and they were asking nicely, come on, we're sorry for the inconvenience, but blah, blah, blah. You got to get your butt off the plane. He refuses. Third officer comes up. This guy is like, he had enough of this. You got to get off the plane. And they basically drag him out, kicking and screaming. He bumps his head on the armrest as he's going out. He's all bloodied up. So that pretty much is the story. So, whose fault is it? Is it the guy's fault? Should he have been able to stay on the flight and then the next flight could have been canceled and like stranded 300 people? Or should he have been the gentleman and thought of be a team player and think of other people's needs and say, well, you know what? It sucks, but stuff happens. I'll get off the plane. Or should they go by the who cries the loudest gets to stay on the plane, and then that way it could bring on to like more people in the future, that whoever screams the loudest gets their way, and then the nice, sweet people always get screwed. Well, I don't like that. I don't like when the loud people kind of get their way, and then the sweet people get screwed because they're easier to deal with. Yeah, it sucks, but I understand. And then they get screwed all the time because they're being nice. So I think what they did it right. They said, okay, this guy meets criteria. This guy has to be the one that has to go, unfortunately. And they stick with it. Because otherwise, everybody will be screaming and crying, and that's just get out of control. So I'll just stick to the first one, and then figure it out. And then go with that one person. And then the guy, unfortunately, he should have just left. I mean, it sucks, but I'm sure when they have all that stuff, we got to read all the fine print. I'm sure it's in there somewhere. It says we can kick you off for whatever reason we want to, for no reason whatsoever. So it sucks, but I think, you know what? Just get off the plane. Get off the plane. Everybody else got to go somewhere. I know you could be stuck, but somebody's got to get stuck, and you got unlucky. You lost you won the bad lottery. So deal with it. Get off the plane. Let everybody else go where they got to go. Let the other plane take off as well, so there'll be no delays. Just get off the plane. Then you can deal with your problems later. You could sue, or I think you could sue, but I'm sure they will try to reimburse you, compensate you for this and that and the other thing, buy you some tacos. I don't know. I guess you're the Asian, maybe Chinese food. I don't know. Whatever. But that's my take. I don't want to ramble on this, but There isn't much news today, but I wanted to say hello, see what's going on. You see my new background. I tried to make it a little nicer because I know the couch didn't look so great. It's comfortable though, and this one has bad lighting, so I gotta fix that. And this is remember, this is a site that's getting built up. So hopefully I'm gonna try to make it a little better every time. So stay with me, be patient, and continue watching Paul Takes on the News.